I am making a chemise because I always wanted to make one. I think it would be cute for this Halloween season, and I know a lot of girls probably want a cheap and inexpensive outfit. And y'all already saw my corsets and sewing September, and if you haven't, I'll put the playlist either down below or on the ends, both, or a card right here. So I wanted to share this kind of a secret with y'all. Okay, so this is what I'm making is an Italian chemise. The pattern is what I kind of followed down below. All you're doing is using squares. So I took my chest measurements, which is 40, and I pretty much made two 40-inch squares by however tall I was. So I'm 5'1". So I didn't want it too long. Let me make sure. 37 to 38 inches long. So you're gonna do one square that's 40 inches by 37. Depending on how big your chest is. I have a really big chest. I'm also slender, but once you get those two 40 inches and you can take some elastic and narrow it down, it'll be 20 inches. So that's just the front. You want a 20-inch front after you do the elastic. So 40 inches, which is your whole chest size. That way when you put elastic on it, or when you put little ruffles in them, it's going to be half that size. And then you're going to take the back side, which is going to be another 40 inches, and whatever length you want. So that is what I'm doing for the two front squares. For the sleeves, it had a 30-inch by 36-inch sleeve. My arms are actually short, so I did, hold on, the width of it, or the length down my arm, is about, I think I followed the 36 inches or more. That's like a lot more. That's about 40 inches that I got. So I made them long because you do kind of want them flowy, if anything. The longer the better, the flowier the better, but also it doesn't really matter. This is like a one size fits all kind of thing, so you can't really go wrong. It's not form fitting, it's supposed to be loose fitting, because technically a chemise is like a nightgown. So, and then around to go around my arm to go through, it is 30 inches. So you want about 40-inch by 30-inch length. Just measure the length of your arm and measure around your arm. Around my arm is about 14 inches. So you just want them big and flowy. So like 28 inches around is fine. I just want mine to be extra puffy and ruffly. And then you're gonna make a gusset, which this kind of, I would honestly say lift your arm up really high and take a corner or take like a protractor or something and find out how much or how long, or like just find out what that square is when you lift up your arms. So this one asked for 7 inches. Like historically it says like 10 inches to do the gusset. This is going to be under your arm. So this is going to be like your sleeve is right here, and then your main part is going to come up like that, so it makes the square. It's like your sleeve and your chest has like a nice little square to it, and it sits on your shoulders. If not, if you just put your gusset or your pieces all together, or not even, if you just put your sleeves in your shirt, if you put the sleeves and the front all together, you're going to have a straight line, and it's not going to go over your shoulders. It's going to sit right on the sides of your shoulders. It's gonna be off the shoulder. So you could just forget the gusset and just sew the sides and the tops together. You can do so much with this, and all it is squares and triangles. You don't need any kind of fancy measurements or anything like that. If anything, just sit on top of a sheet and cut a square that would be perfect for your width and length, and then cut arms that will be, or like squared arms that will be good for your width and length. Just make sure that your body fits within those squares. And then the triangles, you could do it if you want. I'm doing the triangles because I want the sleeves to fit on my shoulders. So, and then I'm gonna wear one of my corsets with it. So this is the sleeve. And we're gonna put on our first set of gussets. Also, I need to make sure that this was just a pair or something I had in the closet. It was a sheet that I had in the closet, and my daughter wrote all in it, or on it. So we are going to try and do everything on the inside of this. This is the top of the sleeve. This is what's gonna sit on my shoulder right here. And we're gonna put bias tapes. Make sure that you have strips of the same fabric, like maybe 4-inch strips, maybe 2-inch strips. 4-inch strips gives you, room to kind of like work with if you're a beginner. But if you're like not new, I would do 3-inch strips and fold it in half, but also fold the sides like a 1/2 inch in to make your bias tape. But these are our sleeves. This is going to be all puffed up and on our shoulder in the end. And what you want to do, put the squared corners right here for it to be historically correct to hand sew it. But we ain't doing that. We're just going to use a machine because I do not have the time or patience to hand sew. And I'm putting these wrong side. Set of sleeves, or the gusset is on our sleeve. And you're only sewing the side because the top is where we're going to connect the front and the back. And you want the gusset to be exactly right here. And you're not sewing, you're only sewing on the sides only. Sides, that way these can flap out. And we're doing that to both of the sleeves, or both of the sleeves. Okay, so we have the sleeves all done, looking like this. It's like they have little wings. So we have that, and what we are going to do, this is the top of it. I really wanted this to be like, I don't know, I feel like this should actually be the bottom. Let's do that. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna let the frilly part be the bottom because I don't want it to, the rouging itself is already gonna be beautiful enough. So what you're gonna do is take the front part or the back part, it actually doesn't matter because they're both the same size, and you were going to put this right here. But you're only going to do it like 2 inches, I think is what it says, 2 inches above the gusset seam. We're gonna break the rules here, because we're gonna do 3 inches. How about that? We're gonna put those together. Alright, so that's all you do, and you do it pretty much on all sides. So on both sides, that's what we're going to do. So you want it to look like that. Okay, so I did this half, make sure it's all flat. I have it kind of bunched up flat and like this so I can really get a feel of what I'm doing. This is what the bottom, can't even see it. So we're just redoing, we're gonna take the back, I'm putting it 3 inches up on each sides, and then you're gonna have this funky looking, like, I'll just put the picture up to show y'all how it looks. So it pretty much looks very boxy, very squarish and everything else, but I promise it all comes out looking beautiful. Okay, one thing about this angle is I always have to fix it because it's super tilted, but this is what your chemise should look like once you fold everything. So this is what it looks like from the side, and this is only half of it, because when you fold it all the way out, it's big. But you want it big because everything's going to shrink up and be all flowy and super cute. This would actually be a really beautiful like maternity dress, but everything's this big, and so now we're going to gather it, and I'm going to try gathering it without elastic and see what it looks like and see how it feels, just because I do want to kind of be historically accurate. But you're going to sew down the sides, of course, and we'll see. Okay, now I folded it in half to find the crease, to find the middle, and then I did 3 inches. So this right here, okay, a little under an inch, which I cut it to 3 inches. And when you open it, it is 1.5 plus the 2 right there. So, but that is going to be our bias tape, and I'm just going down, but I did want it to pin this and make it stay in place so that we don't lose it. We want those to stay nice and sharp. So, and I'm just going down. Since it's kind of like already creased, it's easier to just take it and fold it and press it as you go. So that's what I'm doing. All right, I love this. This is actually, first off, okay, so do you see where the gussets are? This is the gusset. I should have made it a little bit bigger, but even though it's tight, you gotta watch out for the sleeves. The sleeves are very long. But even though the gusset's a little tight, I don't think it's the gusset. I think it's the neckline. I made the neckline a little bit too tight, but I like it. I like how it fits. Like, I have full mobility. Gotta be careful of the sleeves, because the sleeves are way too long. But I would actually sleep in this. This actually feels comfortable. I wish I would have done elastic though. Elastic feels a lot better. So, this is a full corset. Oh, but it's, you know, supposed to look like little, you know, Renaissance queen and everything. I really need to redo the sleeves, but I love it. I love how cute it looks. So, yeah. But let me redo the sleeves. So, this is a chemise. It's a little long still, but I can still, you know, free up my hands when I need them. So, I like it. My husband likes it, and it worked out well with like the top of the sheet is now like the fancy little border. So, and then I can still walk in it. It's not all the way to the ground. Maybe double plus, like double your size and then do half. So the half of my body is 20. Yeah, half of my boob size is a 20, because all around my full bust size is a 40, and I did 80 inches, so I should have done 120. So I'm thinking about doing half of it. So if I did 20 and doubled it, that'd be 40, and then another 10, because 10 is half of 20. If that makes any sense. So, I would do that. If you wanted to, you could honestly add padding to make like your shoulders a lot more poofy. I love it. I love how loose and flowy it is. I like the medieval era. technically this is an Italian chemise, because the person said it was an Italian thing. And this is just a bunch of squares or like rectangles, like 2 small rectangles for your arms, 2 big rectangles for your main body, and then 2 triangles for your armpits. So I hope you enjoyed this bonus video. I wanted to make this. I was going to not film it and just make it for myself, but I figured it's Halloween. Maybe somebody wants an easy DIY project. I made this out of a bed sheet, so yeah. And I didn't even use the whole bed sheet. I still have a bunch of fabric. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!